Hello, beautiful people. Chad Putman here with Make Your It Happen, and here to walk through your Midlife Opportunity Starter Kit, Section Stage 3, The Wall. Welcome and thanks for joining, and thanks for continuing to do this important self care, self love work. I know it's a lot, but it really can help transform where you are today and really help you find a new place to begin to experience life on a different level and address and make some changes that will help to bring more peace, joy, and serenity to your life. So, thanks for doing the work and thanks for joining me in this process. Again, Chad Putman with the Midlife Opportunity Starter Kit. As you work through these sections, feel free. You can visit my website, which is www.makeyourithappen.com. And you can click on the Book Now page and schedule a free discovery session if you feel like these activities or journaling exercises are kicking up anything for you that you would like to process further or kind of work through in some way. So that's certainly available to you, as well as other type of full sessions and micro sessions. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Just real quick review. The last two sections were an opportunity to reflect on your youth and your teen years and what that experience was like and how that formed who you are today. And then the second section was really focused on the thing or the things that we are all encouraged to do as human beings, as members of a community, as members of a family and a culture. And so you really kind of jotted down many, many things that you've done and gone through and accomplished and perhaps struggled with. So good work, and thanks for moving this along. So here we go. Let's go on to page 2. All right, page 2, The Wall, Our Life's Work. Our story. The wall can be many different things for many different people. Sometimes it can feel like walking into the woods, mesmerized by the beauty. Then suddenly it dawns on you, where am I? I'm lost. I'm not quite sure how I got here, and I'm not sure how to get out. For others, it can be an emotional wall, a wall that feels like depression, anxiety, or anger. Our day's thoughts and actions become a reflection of our mood and frustrations. Our moments of happiness seem less frequent, and we start to lose interest in things that once brought us joy. The wall can be financial. Many of us have said, if I just had more money, then fill in the blank. On top of that, our money stories and troubles are often a product of our youth and the things sections in stage 1 and 2. As such, our money stories can often take center stage, and too often we can't see around it. The wall can also feel like a hamster wheel. We just keep repeating the same patterns in our relationships of choice and habits, thinking somehow it'll be different this time or I'll make different choices tomorrow. Others experience walls that have a punch when life takes an unintended or unexpected turn, such as a traumatic event, accident, death, getting fired, diagnosed with a medical condition, divorce, substance abuse, incarceration. A wall can be 100 million different things for 100 million different people. This is just the index page, just a reminder you've already worked through sections 1, 2, and now you're on section 3, the wall, sometimes subtle. Let's move on. Welcome to page 3. Just, kind of humorously, I wanted to add this first bit about, feel free to grab a pillow and just scream into it. This section, the walls, is really supposed to be about an opportunity to really examine those things that drive you absolutely bonkers, right? You just get so frustrated, so angry, so upset, so depressed, so anxious, just, the things that life that you ultimately just can't control, and you just want to scream sometimes. So, feel free, grab a pillow, scream into it, let it out, do what you got to do, right? And then we can move on. Feel better? This section stage is all about the struggle, the outcome of our childhood, adolescence, and all the choices you made and didn't make as an adult. Welcome to your present. Use this section below to write down at least 8 resentments you have about how things have worked out, expectations you have that never materialized, or perhaps you did the thing and you still got shorted. So really, 8, I'm looking at, it doesn't have to be 8 of each, but, just try and come up with 8 examples of either resentments that you might have, or frustrations that you're feeling right now, or expectations that you had on others, or situations that just haven't worked out, or if you feel like you've just been wronged in some way. So what really burns your butt, right? It can literally be anything. So feel free to work through that section right now. I hope that started to provide just a little bit of insight and jotting down, like, what are some of those frustrations, right? That angst. This next section, this next page, really is an opportunity to do a little bit more digging and to look at, what about what others expected from you? Did you do it? So maybe it was a boss, maybe it was a spouse, or a coworker, or a friend, or a family member. Like, there was some kind of expectation that you do X, Y, and Z. Did you do it? Did you not do it? What? Why? Right? And really, this part here, is an opportunity to get at how other people, oftentimes either attempt, or we allow them to control the choices that we're making. So what about these others? Did others expect from you? And go ahead, and whether or not you did it. So go ahead and work through that section. The bottom section really is an opportunity. Use this section to write down your if onlys, right? So I would feel better if. Oftentimes, this can be like, if my boss treated me better, then I would be happier at work, or if I made more money, then I would be able to go on vacation. If I paid off all of my student loan debt, then I would have money to get a dog or something. What are your if only? Go ahead and take some time. See if you can come up with 8 of those examples. See you on the next page. All right, welcome to page 5. How are you feeling? Starting to get some of the angst out on paper. You ready to burn it? Not yet, right? So we're just getting the juices flowing, as they say. So take 4 deep breaths, nice and slow, and then come back. Here's some good news to consider. The wall, although it may feel awful, it's actually attempting to teach you something very important. Use the space below to define your walls. What is it? Get as specific as possible. Look back to page 1, our story, if you're looking for examples, if you get stuck on not quite how to identify what your walls are. And the last couple pages are really trying to build up to help you identify what those walls are. Maybe it's an emotional wall, right? Struggling with depression or anxiety every day, and not being able to get up and out of bed and go and do the things you want to do, or just not finding joy in life. Maybe it's showing up and going to a job that you just absolutely don't love anymore, but you do it because financially you just don't have any other options. Maybe it's, you're staying stuck in a relationship of some sort that is toxic, and the person is not loving and caring and supportive of you and who you are and what you're doing. Maybe it's just that, you want to do, these things, if only, right? Those are kind of help speak to the walls. But like, you want to get, going on some kind of exercise routine, or eating healthy, or getting on that vacation, or doing that activity or passion that you love, but you just keep like, well, I don't have enough time, right? So identify, see if you can come up with 8 to 10 potential walls, and they can be small walls, big walls, giant walls, whatever they are for you. Just go ahead and use this section to write those down. And if you need to use the back, do that as well. All right, so there it is, right? It's on paper, you're doing the work. So now, really, the opportunity is to dig a little bit deeper. And how are you fighting, debating, or bargaining with your walls, right? So when you look at that list of walls from small to big, how are you negotiating with them? Are you like saying, well, in 6 months I'll address this, or I'm going to take these incremental steps to address my debt, or I'm gonna get myself a therapist to help me in my relationship. Maybe you're bargaining. You're like, I'll start looking for another job that maybe pays a little bit better. Maybe it's family relational things, or taking care of a young person or an adolescent, or taking care of an older family member. How are you fighting, debating, and bargaining with your walls where other things and other priorities take precedent over your own self care? Go ahead and work through that section and take your time. There's no rush. This last section on this page is, what do your walls say about you? So, do you assign value or worth to them? Are they part of your identity? So, I'm getting at this too around, like, I'm in a relationship. I'm married, right? So I have a wedding ring. So that says something about me. So the idea of potentially not being married or not being in a relationship, is that going to change how other people look at you and perceive you? And do you feel like, oh, that would be a sense of failure if I don't succeed at my, marriage or something? If you have family members who have, put a lot of pressure on you to accomplish a certain thing, and it just doesn't feel right for you, but you're doing it anyways. What do your walls say about you? Like, do you assign value to them? Like, it's an opportunity to see how your walls kind of manipulate to keep you in this stuck position. It's like, well, like, this is that, your ego gets in there, and you kind of that bargaining piece, like, well, I can't really make this change because of X, Y, and Z. What are those X, Y, and Z, right? What is that for you? So go ahead and work through that section. And then on the bottom, I suggest just really taking a moment and processing. Maybe do some meditation, go for a walk, whatever that is for you. Keep breathing, right? Here we are, page 7. I know this is really tough work. I mean, I can feel it. I'm sweating. It's a lot. I mean, this is our life's work. And I'm not suggesting that you overcome these walls in a moment or in a day or in a week or a month or even a year. It's really about building awareness and beginning to chip away at those walls so that you can get to the other side. All right. So page 7. After the shine wears off, we have some choices to make. How did you get here? Let's take some time to reflect on the prior 2 section stages. What stories did you learn? Make your own. What led you to your current situation? Document some of your journey and how you came to encounter these walls. So this is kind of looking back at our youth and teen years, and as we did all the things, right? Like, how do those components relate to the walls we are experiencing today? Right. So, part of my thing was I wanted to go get my, master's in social work. And so then I ended up with $30,000 in student loan debt. And debt is an absolute wall for many, many people. And, I had the good fortune that my husband helped me apply for a student loan forgiveness program. And after working for 10 years for government and nonprofits, I was able to have all of the balance of my loan forgiven. But that was like, choices that I had made in my, 30s, 20s and 30s to go to school and get that education, but it became a wall as far as opportunities to then go and travel and do other things because I had this exorbitant debt that I had to pay off. So take a look at those things and see how is it that your past has impacted in constructing these walls that you're experiencing today. Take your time. All right, let's keep remembering to breathe, right? Here we are, page 8. Take a moment to check in with your feelings and rest, breathe, get some water, just step away for a minute and come back. You're doing incredible. This is all about self reflection, self care, self love. To really get a sense of where you are in this present moment and how it is you want to proceed forward in your life, right? So this might feel like a big leap forward. However, use the space below to write a message to your walls. For example, I got fired, but now I can look for a job that pays more and is something that I like to do. My depression, anxiety gets the better of me most days, but I know it's trying to tell me something. So when you look at your walls, right? So we've given examples before. I think one of the walls oftentimes is that money story. And so, are you staying stuck, right? Are you staying in a particular situation because, the money story is that, well, once I earn this much money or once I pay off this debt, then I can do X, Y, and Z, which ultimately relates to our happiness today, right? Because all we have is today. And when we postpone engaging in things that bring us joy and have a sense of freedom, we're we sacrificed how we feel today because we're like just trudging through this thing that we're not super happy to be having to deal with. So we have to try and find some peace. So, maybe in the interim, there's an opportunity to look at like, what is this wall trying to teach me? So, do I have an opportunity to learn how to be financially creative? Maybe there's other income streams. Maybe there's ways that I can incorporate passions that I have in my life and use that to supplement my income. For example, I've always been an artsy craftsy kind of guy, and so I'm not making any income off it, but I've got it, and you can see my my craft projects behind me where I have paintings and have put in buttons and strings on it as a form of self-expression. I've also just started this past weekend with my husband. I had some beads left from my mala necklace, so we made mala bracelets, and I made those. So it's finding these little things that we have joy and passion around that can help us self-care and self-love to get through these time frames where we just can't leave a job, or it's going to take some time to get out of a relationship, or we have these other demands that we just have to work through because it's other choices that we had made previously. So go ahead and work through this section. And down at the bottom, what I mentioned is that the walls alone are not good or bad. Rather, they're just trying to teach us something. These are our life lessons. This is our life's work. So be kind to yourself. This is not about beating yourself up or feeling awful. This is just about building insight and compassion and finding the space and time to care and love yourself in the moment. All right? All right, you did it. Here we are, the last page. Congratulations. This was a long one and this was a tough one. And do, take extra care of yourself. I always love to play a song, sing along, whatever you got to do, get that positive vibe energy going. Tap into those passions, those things that you enjoy. Maybe have a nice little treat or something. Today, you have the opportunity to claim your power and define your tomorrow. Use the space below to write out 4 positive affirmations related to your walls and what you have learned from them. For example, I have significant debt today. However, my money story is something I have the power to change. I'm not powerless over my money story. I can explore other ways of bringing in income that bring me more joy. And I know that this is not the end all be all, right? So go ahead and work through that section. I just, again, want to thank you for taking the time to do this really difficult work. And I look forward to seeing you in the next section. Take care and be well.